Hello friends, welcome back to the tutorial form validation using JavaScript. In the last tutorial we have seen how we can confirm that the user has entered same passwords in two fields. One is the password field and one is the confirm password field. In this tutorial we'll see how we can validate select form element and checkbox. These are the two elements that we are going to see how we can validate them. And here I have the code for both the elements. First we'll see how we can validate the select elements. And this is the code for the select element. The select element has an ID called select. To validate a select element, we'll see the index of the selected option. Here we have 5 options and you can see that the first option have no values, but from the second option we have values, some 1, 2, 3 and so on. So this option have an index of 0 and this 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and so on. On many of the websites you may have seen while selecting an option from select element, we have a message here. In first we see a message, select a number or select your country or anything. So we in that will make this first option of no value and will write a message here like this. So to validate this, we'll see that the selected option has an index other than the 0, that is the user has selected an option from these options. So to make sure that, we'll see the index of the option. If the index is 0, that means the user has selected this option, so we'll alert the user to select an option from these elements. In this way we can validate or we can make sure that the user must select an option from this elements. So let's see how we can do that. First, add the script tag in the head section of the HTML document. And we'll create a function called validate select. It uses similarly as we have seen in last tutorials. It uses one argument using which we'll pass the ID of the select element, which is the field ID. Now let's first attach this function to the select element. This is the select element and here we'll add that. To validate a select element, we'll use a different DOM event called onChange. This triggers when the value of the select element changes. When the user selects an element, then the function triggers and it checks for the index of the options. Let's see how we can do that. Attach the function on change is equal to double quotes then validate select, and we'll pass the ID of the element is the select. Let's now write the code. First we'll grab the index of the selected element variable, selected option is equal to same property document dot get element by ID, document dot get element by ID. ID is the select, which is passed through the field argument field ID dot selected index, selected index. This gives the index of the selected option. Then we'll see that the selected index is 0, or it is it has some value other than 0, because the 0th index is this, and this is the first index and this is the second index. So we'll check that the selected index is, if to 0, then I will alert the user. Alert please select a number. Save this. Now let's see how it works. Refresh the page, and now this triggers the function when I change the value of this element. Now I have selected the third index, so it is not the 0 index, so it will not trigger the function. If I select this index, which is the 0th index, then it will alert the user, please select a number. Okay, so in this way it will check that the user has selected some value. Next we'll see how we can validate this checkbox. Here I have the code for the checkbox. This is the code. It has an ID called checkbox, so we'll just check, we'll make sure that the user has checked the checkbox. So let's write the function to do that. Function validate checkbox. It also uses an argument field ID. We can use the same argument in all the functions because they are our local arguments. So let's first attach this function to the checkbox. Here also we are using the onChange event. OnChange is equal to validate checkbox, then pass the ID. ID is the checkbox. Now let's write some code. First We have a property called checked, which passes true if the checkbox is checked, and it passes the false if the checkbox is not checked. So we'll see that by using that property, the variable in which we are saving the result, uh, if the result is false, then we'll alert the user. If the result is true, then we'll accept that. So let's see how we can do that. Now variable check box is equal to document dot get element by id. Id is the field id dot checked. This property passes or saves true in this variable if the box is checked, else it saves false in this variable if the box is not checked. And we'll compare it. If checkbox, the value in this variable is equal to false, then alert the user. Alert, please check the box. So let's see how it works. Save and refresh the page. Now first I have to check this box. Now the value is true, so it will not trigger the function and there is no alert message to the user. If I change this to unchecked, or if I uncheck this box, then the value is false of the checked property, then we'll see a message. See, please check the box. Okay. So in this way we can validate the checkbox and select elements. So we'll leave the tutorial here. In the next tutorial, from the next tutorial we'll start creating a whole script to validate a form, sign up form, as I have shown you at the beginning of this tutorial series. From the next tutorial we'll start that. Thank you for watching. Please like my videos, share my videos, also subscribe to my channel and comment below the video, and gives thumbs up to the video if you like the video, and also give some suggestions for the improvements. Thank you for watching. We'll meet in the next tutorial.